Less than 2 weeks ago, there was a new IPO with a new plant-based company. A company that is actually quite interesting. And it's interesting because it has some similarities to the chef, the tattooed chef. But the difference here is that it's 100% plant-based, meaning vegan. So tonight we're going to take a look at that company, take a look at the stock, and also try to determine, is there a threat to the chef? If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're not, then obviously welcome back. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, make sure to do that, especially if you're interested in plant-based stocks like the Tattooed Chef, like the very good food company Beyond Meat, to name a few. So subscribe and don't forget that bell button. Thank you, folks. And as always, I would truly appreciate an early thumbs up, because for some reason the algorithm gods makes it easier for you to get your video out there then. Alright, so I'm hoping you can help me out. So what is this new company then? Well, it's also, as we are accustomed to on this channel, a Canadian based company called Boosh. I think you pronounce it. Guys, if I'm butchering the name, let me know. If I'm booshing the name, sorry. So Boosh is the name of it, and basically, if we take a look at it, it's comfort food, it's frozen food that is healthy for you. And it's 100% plant-based, gluten-free, no artificial flavors, non-GMO, Canadian-owned, and food lover approved. That's what we'd like to hear. But another interesting thing here is that it's actually in collaboration with Beyond Meat to some extent. We're going to talk a little more about that and show you some of their products. So what I like about the chef, the Tattoo Chef, is that it has a lot of products that are quite healthy for you. And they're kind of using a whole foods approach. Not with all of their products, but on several. And actually, when you take a look at these products, it's kind of the same. It's interesting. They have 6 products right now that's in sale. And if we take a look at their coconut curry cauli, let's take a look at this one. And we can take a look what it actually contains. Well, the sauce in itself is just coconut milk, onions, canola oil, curry, potato starch, curry paste, and then that's made by vegetable oil, and then salt, water, concentrated tomato. So it kind of looks pretty decent for being a ready-made meal, right? And then when we look at the base here, it's brown rice, quinoa, chickpeas, cauliflower, spinach, carrots, bell pepper, and some oil again, and some other goodies there. So kind of looks pretty decent. Has about 310 calories per portion, protein 8 grams, decent enough. So yeah, looks attractive. But let's take a look at one of their products that is with Beyond Meat. We see the symbol here. So I'm thinking that's a good sign that Beyond Meat would choose to collaborate with a smaller company like this, and we're actually going to talk about how small it is, so stay tuned for that. So the main ingredients here, it's a veggie bolognese ball, doing it the Italian style as well. So that's brown rice penne. The sauce is diced tomatoes, and Beyond Meat's Beyond Beef crumbles, which is basically, yeah, it says what Beyond Meat normally has, which is a lot of ingredients, as we know. It's pretty heavily processed in itself. Onion, mushrooms, garlic, canola oil, basil, potato starch. So yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any difference here when you compare this product with the chef, because the chef is all about having a lot of whole ingredients, but when it comes to their meat alternatives, it's pretty heavily processed as well. Maybe not as processed as Beyond Meat. We'll have to take a look at that later. And they also have a kind of a mac and cheese and peas. Then they have a Mexican fiesta. And then they have this rustic veggie pot pie for 2. So they have these bigger versions too, for a little bigger, or people who actually prefer eating more, or for 2 people, or for a really small family maybe. And a hearty shepherd's pie also for 2. So that looks interesting. And let's just take a quick look at this one too. It's interesting to see. Well, the main ingredients here is brown rice and penne. Brown rice penne, and the sauce is actually almond milk, vegan mozzarella, and the mozzarella is filtered water, tapioca flour. Doesn't look half bad, and a vegan cream cheese. also looking, I think, pretty okay if you compare it to a lot of other products out there. So this is actually interesting. And if we take a look at the stock chart, ticker symbol VEGI.CN is in the Canadian SEC, right? It's about, it is actually exactly 1.37 Canadian dollars. And it came out in less than 2 weeks ago. So not much has happened to it, as you can see here. But I think it was actually supposed to open at 0.5. And lest I forget, I just want to give a quick shout out to Sarah Smith, who actually talked about this a couple of days before the IPO and wanted me to make a video. So sorry, Sarah, for taking me almost 2 weeks to make this. But yes, let's go on to their investor page. And guys, just realize that this is a really, really small company. We're going to talk about how small soon. But so the investor page here is really simple, but it actually gets to the point. This is just a first video. Let me know later down in the comments if you want me to keep covering this company. So I'm just getting a feeler for this, if this is something I'm going to keep following. Let's just see. So why Boosh? 100% plant-based and gluten-free. They are branded with Beyond Meat when it comes to one of their products. And the interesting thing here is expanded to 300 plus stores in less than 18 months. And why I find that interesting is that we know the Very Good Food Company, right now they're at about 300 stores. And this little company is already at 300 stores. Obviously, there's probably a huge difference because what I see right now, they are not selling any products on e-commerce. And about 80% of the sales for the Very Good Food Company is e-commerce, as we know, as of yet, and they're going to expand to about 3,000 stores, but still pretty interesting. And also, like the several other plant-based companies, they're distributed by UNFI, and they're in several different stores, as we see here, and they're in the frozen section, but they are actually going to expand into their refrigerated section too, and they have a lot more SKUs up in their alley, and we're going to talk about that soon too. And something interesting here is also that they acquired recently a vegan powdered cheese company. So I guess that would be really good with their overall products, and a large insider ownership. And pre-market, it was the market cap around 4.6 million. And right now it's different, but I'll talk about that soon too. And if we take a look here, competitive advantage, according to them, Boosh is 100% vegan, 100% gluten-free, compost dishes, Canadian company. I guess that's a really good thing if you're in Canada. And they have family size. And if they compare it to Amy's, Louvel, and Gardein, they apparently don't have the same things. Interesting, though, that they did not compare it with the Chef. But could this be that it's Canadian companies? Could be. And if we do look at the share structure here, it is about 14.2 million shares now, which means it's very little. And I do expect that with time, they're probably, if they're doing well, they'll probably release more, which might mean some kind of dilution with time. And it seems to be already that to some extent. But if we do use this, because I'm trying to get an idea of what kind of market cap they have, because it's a really new company right on the stock market. So what kind of market cap did they have? And we don't get any. Enterprise value is around 10 million. But I took a look at the stocks and then where the price is at now. So I think it's around 19 to 20 million Canadian dollars market cap. So again, guys, this is a really, really small company as of yet with a really small revenue. We're going to take a look at that too. So I actually contacted the company, the investors relations, to get more information regarding what kind of revenues they have. And you know me, to try to get an idea of what kind of price to sales ratio we can see, the PA's ratio. They had told me to go check their prospectus. Guys, if you want access to their prospectus, let me know down in the comments if this is interesting. But yeah, this is total sales here. And this is basically what it looks like. So not maybe very impressive, right? But again, not so strange, right? Because it is a really small company and it's apparently, if I understand, they haven't existed that long either. So, but something else that I do find interesting is actually that they're coming out with new products. I want us to take a look at that. So as I stated earlier on, they are coming out with other kinds of products, not only frozen, but also more frozen related. And it seems here that the future developments that early June 2021, they're hoping to get refrigerated products, which would be chili, good gravy, sloppy joes, and then in the freezer section later in June, Buddha bowl, no meat loaf, refrigerated section, Shana masala curry, very good, very good. And then freezer section, frozen margarita pizza and sausage pizza. So it does actually look really intriguing, this company, in that way. And I have to ask myself that why would Beyond Meat actually collaborate with such a small company? It's not that they need to be desperate, right? Beyond Meat is the largest in the field, right? It's the most branded product. That's the one that everyone knows globally. And they choose to collaborate with such a small company. Part of me is wondering, we talked about that Beyond Meat will sooner or later probably move into other different sections, right? Like frozen food. Who knows? Is this a company that they could buy up with time? I think that's intriguing, but that they have a collaboration with Beyond Meat is a definite bonus in my eyes. So do I feel that this is a company that could maybe be a threat to the chef? Well, as you know, we talked about this. I still think this whole industry sector is really new. So I think there's plenty of room, right, at the moment. 5 to 10 years from now, who knows? But could it be a threat? Right now, I can't really see it because they're so small, right? The only thing I can see, though, is because I've talked about this on many occasions. One of the biggest disadvantages, largest disadvantages for the chef in my eyes is that it's not completely vegan. It's not 100% plant-based, all of their products. They have a couple ones that are, yes. But I think we talked about this before too, that I think there will be investors, there will be people who are making the change or talking about sustainability and cares about health. It's going to annoy them long term, I think, that Tattoo Chef hasn't made the whole move to fully plant-based, because that means that several of their products can't be bought by vegans or people who just eat 100% plant-based, people who have sensitivities, right, when it comes to lactose or milk protein, which there's more and more people having problems with, right? So I could see that people who are interested in investing in plant-based companies, but who are fully vegan, they could make the choice to go to Boosh instead, right? I think there's a chance for that, because then they see, oh, there's this equivalent. That doesn't mean that this is equivalent size-wise or it's going to have a chance. Because as I've said before, I do believe that the chef will eventually become 100% plant-based. But considering that the chef, even though it's quite new as a brand itself, as a company has existed for a very long time, right? And not only that they have Sarah Galetti, which seems to be some kind of whiz in the kitchen, right? They have Sam Galetti, her father, who has been in the food business for about 35 years. So I think he knows what he's doing. So I don't see this being a threat anytime soon anyways. What do you folks believe? Let me know down in the comments. But with that said, that doesn't mean that this company can't do really well on its own right. So it does seem intriguing. I really like this section. I think there's a lot of opportunities there. It's convenient, and it seems like a lot of their products could be to some extent quite healthy compared to a lot of other products out there. So, and being again 100% plant-based, but and also 100% gluten-free is going to help them on that line. I do believe so. And the collaboration with Beyond Meat is going to be interesting to follow that. All right, folks, that was it for today. I truly hope you got some value from today's video. And if you did, make sure to smash that like button and help me out. And if you want to keep getting more information regarding this company, Boosh Foods, or other plant-based companies, make sure to subscribe and don't forget that bell button. Thank you, folks. I truly appreciate your help. And do not forget, this was not financial advice. These were just my own thoughts and opinions. It's important to do your own due diligence and invest safe. Have a wonderful Tuesday, folks, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.